This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Cool to see you all among the dead. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talon Mix, the 2024 Halloween Spooktacular, our annual least listened to episode of the year.
I like that we were gone for several weeks, and our return is the episode no one wants. This is our comeback.
It's been, for both of us, maybe a rough couple of weeks. I will say, I was realizing, this is our fourth Halloween Spooktacular. We, for the length of a high school, run, we've been doing this pretty fucking, consistently. We've been pretty fucking good.
Fourth Halloween Spooktacular. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, dude.
The Fog, Lake Placid 2, Urban Legend, and now the movie we're covering tonight.
Right. So I don't, for a 4-year run now at this point, for us to now be like, things are a little busy and we haven't been as good about uploads for the show that we do for no money, I don't feel that bad about it.
No, and I don't think anyone listening is angry with us, probably.
I don't think so either. That said, if you are listening, thank you for sticking with us. It's probably going to be a little dicey for a little bit moving. We're not on any sort of formal hiatus, but we are on. We'll get stuff up when we can get stuff up until kind of further notice, I think. We're at this. We will be at this until we finish Smallville. Bare minimum.
Yes, we're committed. We're committed. And we also, for some reason, decided we need to start another show in the middle of all this. And that's coming to eventually.
Yes, eventually. It was supposed to be sooner than later. It's really good is the thing. And that's also part of the problem is I don't want to half-ass it. And that's taking so much time.
How many? I think we have 8 episodes banked.
We have 8 episodes banked. And 7 of them are really good.
Ooh, and now I'm trying to think of which one's the bad one.
If you think about it, you'll remember. It's the one where we finished recording and then it went, can't win them all.
Yeah.
So before we get into our movie, I like the Halloween show. I think it's the most vibey. It's the most
least listened to, the most important.
Yes.
Somehow. Yeah.
How is your Halloween spooky season going?
It's fine. I shot my wad early watching all those Halloween movies. And but I'm still going strong. I watched all the Scream movies again. It had been a year or two.
Nice.
I love those. I watched The Exorcist for the first time in a couple of years.
That's one of my favorites. I love that movie. Have you ever read the book?
It was only the second time I'd seen it.
Oh wow. Any thoughts upon second?
I mean, it holds up. It's just I think religious horror might be my least favorite genre of horror movie.
Sure.
Or just but it's that's that and Rosemary's Baby are the two.
At
the top, right? And it's unassailable. It's just it's so good.
I deeply love Catholic horror. I've married into I grew up Catholic. You did as well, yes.
Yes.
So and I've married into a Protestant family, and now moved down to where they are. And I do love Catholic horror because my shit's got fucking demons and shit, dude.
Yeah, exorcism.
You go to your fucking little church thing, and they're all nice and fine. We got a sculpture of the fucking dead guy. He's hanging in the goddamn middle of it. And also, if you're bad, you're going to hell.
I do remember, when I finally went to other people's churches, being like, oh, you guys have fun here?
I was like, what the fuck?
You guys, wait, why are you having fun? That's not what we're supposed to be doing.
My first time down here in Richmond, it was for Thanksgiving, and we went to, neither my wife and I are religious, but her parents still are, and they wanted us to come to church with them, which was more of a social thing. Their friends are there. They wanted to
right, yeah.
Our daughter is doing okay, type of stuff, and, was happy to go, of course, but I didn't know anything about their Protestant, division. And I was kind of like, are you guys weird? Is this going to be weird? And it was funny sitting there, and I was very, very involved in Catholic Church. I was an altar boy. Nothing weird happened. Everyone's always like, nothing weird happened. Nothing.
No, sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
Nope. Had a Nope. It was all good.
Non-traumatic experience, except for just the normal trauma of
just
going to church.
the normal. I can't be naked at all by myself because my body is shame. So just the normal Catholic fucked uppery. But so I'm in this Methodist church, this gathering. It's not a mass. That's what I learned. And I'm like, this is fucking church on easy mode. There ain't none of the bullshit I grew up with. And, I'm a little
I don't have to
where's the
kneel
bullshit?
and stand like 7 different times. Yeah. I do remember in like high school having friends who were like spending a lot of time hanging out at a church, like after school or whatever. And I'm
weird.
like, why are you hanging out at a church?
That's not where you
come to find out they have like a basketball court and shit.
Sure.
Like, I'm like, that doesn't sound like a church. What are you talking about?
Yeah, my wife was a church kid, so it's same kind of thing of like, they made you like go all you went all the time?
But they're like having parties and shit. Like, they're like, doing fun, like, let's get people to come to our church stuff.
Weird.
And
weird.
Whereas with at least my experience with Catholicism, it's like, it's just people whose parents made them go. It's not like there's not a lot of outreach.
I had another thought on the Catholic Church, but I lost it, so it probably wasn't that important. Any other thoughts on your spooky season?
No, how's yours?
It's going good. I will say I enjoy commercial compilations. That's kind of my like get stoned and vibe kind of thing. I like old retro commercial compilations because they do kind of, my friend Jake once described it as neurons in your brain connecting for the first time in a long time, like waking up in the back of the classroom like, I know this one. And that's a very big serotonin jolt for me. So I enjoy those old commercials. And so like I like to find old Halloween commercials. And I found one 2000s era ABC Family describing Halloween season, spooky season begins October 19th through the 31st. And it's one of those, I was sitting there like, maybe they were onto something. Maybe I'm blowing my wad 1st. Too quickly here in I'm already, like, I've done Fright Fest at the amusement park. I've watched as many scary movies as I have time for. I have a toddler. We went
it's like
to
Christmas, dude. It's
my
some overreach happening.
My local Walmart is already, the Halloween stuff is gone. It's already building up the Christmas stuff. My not quite 2-year-old, we were looking at Halloween stuff in the store, and we were in a Walmart, and she starts trotting over to the outdoor section, which was all lit up with Christmas trees. And so she, of course, like lets out this like beautiful, joyous, makes my heart grow 2 sizes. Whoa! As she sees the Christmas trees, and I have to like cover her eyes, like, no, we're not doing this yet. Like, no,
it's scary. It's doomed.
This is not time for this.
She's 2 and she already knows. She already remembers Christmas stuff.
I think she was just I think she was just blown away by the magic of the lights, and like, she was having the Christmas magic, and it's not time for the Christmas magic. It's
no magic for you.
No magic for you right now. Let's go back and look at the fucking ghosts. Can I tell you a Halloween costume though? I don't do costumes, but I do generally like, if Emily wants to assemble something, I will wear it. She's Laura Dern. I'm Sam Neill. Little baby's a little dinosaur.
That's awesome.
I did slightly petition for the baby to be Jeff Goldblum. But because all you need there, what do you need there? A slightly open black shirt and a palpable sexual energy.
You just need the glasses.
Yeah.
So you're wearing a blue shirt,
denim shirt, dumb hat, and aviator glasses.
You need like a red handkerchief.
I got the handkerchief.
Really okay. My senior year of high school, my buddy went as Sam Neill and I went as Jeff Goldblum, and our friend went as a velociraptor. We didn't know any girls So we didn't have a Laura Dern.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We knew girls, but we didn't have anyone who was going to dress up in a costume with us.
I'm sorry, Laura Dern in anything is the most attractive Halloween costume anyone could be in. Not that the goal, of course, has to be attracting men who are into the film Jurassic Park, but
no, but a Laura Dern costume, you can be attractive without totally just selling out. You know what I mean? Like totally like demeaning yourself.
Which, don't get me wrong, have fun, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but also
do whatever you want to do.
I'm just saying, if your specific goal is to attract Brian Miller, dress like Laura Dern in Jurassic Park. I have a type, and it's Laura Dern in Jurassic Park.
That's funny. And my type is Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic.
Yeah, that goes without saying. I watched a couple of spooky movies. I haven't done that well this year. The new Salem's Lot, not great.
Ooh.
I didn't mind it on a Saturday afternoon. Like, we just threw it on. We were eating lunch. I had my computer open.
Entirely watchable.
Yes.
But it's not good.
There was apparently a much longer cut, and I see a sentiment on Reddit of like, why didn't they give us the longer cut? A longer cut would not have fixed this thing.
No, I don't want more of the bad movie.
No, if anything, you probably could have cut 20 more minutes out of it.
I don't know if that has ever been true, and every year there's a movie that's like, oh, they made him cut it down to 2 hours. The 3-hour cut's really better. Has there ever been one where you watch the 3-hour one and you're like, this is way better? I
think Kingdom of Heaven is the one, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that one I have seen. I don't necessarily think it's better. It's not worse. That one is notable because it's a completely different story.
Got it.
Like the stuff they added, you're like, oh, that's what this was about. But I think that stuff is exaggerated. I think that's like film geek propaganda.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Generally,
I'm picking up what you're putting
I'm sure
down.
There's an example of a longer cut that's actually better, but I think usually it's not. Like, people were hyping up that Dr. Sleep director's cut.
Oh, I haven't seen either yet.
I liked Dr. Sleep just fine.
Sure.
And I watched the director's cut. Could not tell you what's different about it. Could not tell you the difference.
Just takes longer to watch.
Yeah, and exactly. And this is a movie I've seen multiple times, so I don't know.
Yeah, just scrolling through my letterbox here, I saw Terrifier 3, which I give it 2 stars.
You and the rest of the country.
Absolutely a success story. So glad an unrated movie made fucking bank. It did, as far as like evil clowns go, kicked the shit out of Joker. Like, 8 Joker 2's lunch, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's like, this movie doesn't even have a major distributor. Like, that's incredible. That's incredible. That said, I've talked about Terrifier on the show before. What else you got, man? If your one trick is shocking me, and
shocking gore.
Yeah, you did it. And like, no, there's impressive. So my understanding of the Terrifier movies, the way an actor might write themselves a role to act in. Damon Leone is a special effects guy, and he made a movie to do cool special effects for. And yeah, but what else you got, man? I've seen it. I've seen it now. I keep comparing it to like a 6-year-old bringing you a picture of a Tyrannosaurus Rex and like, yeah, buddy, you want to draw like a different No, just okay, another T-Rex. Yeah, that's cool, man.
I do think I could be wrong, but I'm guessing this is the peak of how much of the amount of money these movies can make.
I think
it's down from here.
I think so. I think 4 is going to be it. I don't
think as many people are into this as went to go see it.
Agreed.
That would be my guess.
Agreed. I got a couple walkouts on 3. My screening had a couple walkouts.
Yeah. Because there's people who like scary movies, but like that's something else.
I did hear yes, I did hear someone in my screen, which keep in mind, it's an unrated movie. My theater was carding. You had to be 18 to get into the auditorium. They were carding at the door of the auditorium.
Good.
And I heard one woman a couple rows behind me go, "Is this going to be gory?" And like, "Oh no, oh lady." Oh, no. Oh, lady.
Whoever is going with her to that movie, it needs to go to jail.
Yes.
If she did not, until she got to the theater, did not know, that's some kind of abuse happening.
Agreed. You got to know what you signed up for there. I watched Jason X. It was on TV late at night. That one kind of has some fun to it. Honestly, it's mostly boring. That's Jason in space.
You know what Metacritic is?
Mm-hmm. But for our audience's sake, maybe that kind of just
it's similar to Rotten Tomatoes, where it aggregates movie reviews into a score. The difference is Rotten Tomato is the percentage of movies of critics that gave it positive reviews. So even if it's like a B-, that counts as much as an A+ with Rotten Tomatoes as far as the percentage goes.
Yes.
So if a movie's at like 90, it could be 90% B-.
Right.
Whereas
it could be 99% of critics thought this was okay.
Right. Metacritic tries to aggregate the rating that the critics gave the movie into their. So they do a number, like 1 out of 100. Like anything above a 70 is pretty good. So I read they did a slideshow article, which was like ranking every horror franchise from worst aggregate average to best.
Yeah.
Out of every horror franchise ever, Friday the 13th, dead last.
Yeah, it's for a villain as
part of that is some franchises only have 4 movies and Friday the 13th has 20 something. But none of them were above like a 30. No. I think that was their highest.
For as iconic,
their highest one was Freddy versus Jason,
which I've had fun with. I've gone back and forth on like if I'm watching Freddy versus Jason by myself, something has gone wrong. But I've always had a good time watching it with many beers and friends.
Right. No, but I just think it's funny that the top movie of that franchise is a movie that stars a different horror monster. For a slasher villain as iconic as Jason Voorhees is, it's funny that like most of those movies are nothing. No, yeah, they're. And I bet there's. I also another caveat is that they did not include direct-to-video franchises or movies. So,
got it. Sure.
Like Leprechaun wasn't in there.
Right. Those deep, heavy Hellraisers. Like
Wishmaster. Yeah.
Right. Finally, not really a horror movie. It kind of gets lumped in because it's in the surreal kind of landscape that horror people would be I get why they're putting it in like on like horror pages. Because I think only horror people would be the people seeking something like this out. Did you see or know anything about I Saw the TV Glow?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
Did you? What? Oh, we haven't talked. What did you think of it?
I mean, it's good. Obviously, it is definitely not. It's not a horror movie.
No,
really, no. It's very unique. My only, I wouldn't call it a criticism, but the reason it didn't like rock my world is that I don't love it when a movie is all metaphor.
Sure.
No, like that movie was all metaphor.
It's exceptionally metaphor. Yeah.
And like there's almost no like reality part of it. I don't know how to.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I think that is a completely fair take, brother. This movie rocked my fucking world. I
mean, that ending is a gut punch.
I have been thinking about that ending for weeks now. Like it was one of those things just for me. The ending, it all like the metaphor of it all clicked, and I'm just sobbing on my couch. Like
it's yeah, it's a sad one. It's not it's not a super happy movie.
No, and like I, am a straight-ish white man. I do not have the transgender experience that is being very clearly, obviously reflected in this movie, and it's still, the storytelling is so fucking profound to me that like I just, oof,
Yeah.
felt that one
Great
very, very
filmmaking.
deep, very, very hard.
Great acting. Yeah, solid movie.
That might be my favorite of the year so far, but I completely understand your take there. But for me, like, just as far as like playing me like a goddamn fiddle, it did it. I really liked their previous one, We're All Going to the World's Fair, as well, in a similar way.
I remember you telling me about that one, but I haven't seen it.
It's kind of the same thing. I think you would have the same kind of take on it. But that one rocked me. This one rocked me. I think if you were a very specific kind of Tumblr user in the 2010s, though both of those movies were all going to the World's Fair, and I Saw the TV Glow, will hit you pretty hard. Spooky season. Spooky season. That's that. We should get into our movie, right?
Yeah, speaking of spooky season.
Speaking of spooky season, we're covering a movie. This is, of course, our Halloween Spooktacular, where we talk about a movie starring a Smallville cast member. We had a handful of options, and we settled on the Jensen Ackles starring. Jensen Ackles, you may remember from season 4 and the Great Witch storyline the Stone storyline that we loved. That was also the Witch. That was Lana is a Witch. That was great, very solid, very well written, totally planned out the entire time. But he's not going to become more relevant to the show as we go on.
No, and I do think he was a highlight of that.
Yes.
He was good.
Agreed.
He was good on Smallville. He is a charming actor. He has charisma. He's maybe the most charismatic person in this movie we're going to discuss tonight.
And this movie, of course, is My Bloody Valentine 3D from 2009. And
Did you notice that now on Tubi, it is called simply My Bloody Valentine?
I believe around the DVD release that happened. But like, this is...
You know what? I think if you put 3D on the title, you have to keep it there, even when it's no longer in 3D.
Because also, that
rule.
context is how... If you don't know this was meant to be in 3D, there's some insane choices here. This is a 3D movie.
The most gimmicky 3D movie of the modern 3D era, for sure.
Which, this is very early in the modern 3D era, which is now past... I think we're past whatever that 3D era is. You don't see movies coming out in 3D.
This is pre-Avatar, isn't it?
This is January 2009. I think Avatar would come out towards the end of 2009. This is... Theaters are getting ready for... I wonder how much Avatar is in the works here, of like how much the fingers in of like get a couple 3D movies in there, so theaters are getting ready for Avatar, right?
Yeah, I do remember, and I feel like it was pre-Avatar, seeing some animated movies in 3D.
Yeah,
that was the new 3D, and they looked really. And I remember being like, "Ooh, I've never seen it look this good, except for at Universal Studios and like the T2 ride or whatever."
Right. This was pioneering real D technology. 3D before this, its previous fad, your Jaws 3D, your Friday the 13th 3D, was the like red and blue glasses, and it looked bad.
Yes. In fact, when this movie, My Bloody Valentine 3D, came out on Blu-ray, it came with an option to watch it in 3D on a normal TV with the red and blue glasses.
I see.
Which I believe I did, and was like, this blows because it's bad.
I see.
Red and blue
yeah.
is bad. I imagine we'll get into it, but I think seeing this in the theater in real D would have been a fucking hoot.
Yes.
It would have been a lot of fun.
This is the most like what you want a 3D movie to be. I quickly soured. I was never that excited for it in the first place, but of course Avatar was coming out, and you knew that, and James Cameron was talking a big game about the 3D technology. This is... You're going to go see a 3D movie. It's got 3D in the title. A pickaxe is coming at the screen. Body parts are flying at the screen.
Right.
And I'm a little... We talked about this briefly over text. We're like, yeah, I'd kind of rather you just did this. And like, if you're going to do 3D, get fucking stupid with it. I don't really need we've enhanced the depth of field to make a more immersive...
Well, you have serious filmmakers who are like, what can we do with this new technology?
Nothing.
And then, and then you have people who are like, let's make that pickaxe poke out at people.
It's basically...
You know what? With a slasher, certainly this is the route you should go.
Yes.
Certainly.
I don't think 3D is that interesting as a format.
There is only one live action movie in 3D that I ever thought, wow, I'm glad I saw this in 3D. And that was Prometheus.
Oh, interesting.
For some reason, they shot it in 3D, and for some reason, that movie, the visuals, I was like, wow, this is...
I think I also saw it because it was like 3D IMAX. I think I also saw that in 3D IMAX, and I didn't remember I saw it that way until you just said that. I also remember in the era, in like the post-Avatar wake, there was a lot of 3D like post-conversions, and those were bad.
Yes.
It's 3D was kind of hot for a moment. No one wanted it. No, I don't remember anyone like, I can't wait to see Clash of the Titans.
It's still
in
going,
3D.
though.
No, 3D movies
there's enough
aren't
people
happening
watching
anymore.
it. Yeah, there's enough people watching them. They still do it.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
I think no. What was the last like 3D wide release?
I feel like any of those Marvel movies, they do a 3D option at the theater. It's probably garbage. I'm sure it's garbage.
It's nowhere near the same level it was at. If like every movie was half and three. I guess you're right. I guess you're... No way. Fuck off.
Next time a movie comes out that's in 3D, I'll send you a screenshot of my local theaters.
Do it. I remember talking to my dad about it. I was so frustrated with everything getting like 3D. I'm like, yeah, everything's 3D, and like this is coming for it. You're gonna have to wear fucking stupid glasses every time you go to the movies. My dad's like, nah, they tried it before, and it goes away. And I'm like, you're nuts. You're nuts. Everyone's saying this is the goddamn fucking... and sure enough, it kind of went away.
It's better, but
it is better.
It still hurts your eyes.
You still gotta wear the stupid fucking glasses.
It's still not. It's blurry.
And it's not
like,
that
if
cool.
you're in a theater that doesn't have all its bulbs fresh or whatever... It's so dim, it's like, forget it.
That's a common like money saver for theaters is to dim the bulbs, not run them at full capacity. I've always been I've always been pretty lucky of like finding theaters that like stay pretty on top of that stuff. But your local megaplex is going to be doing cost saving measures. So like I remember a lot of people the Matt Reeves The Batman just being like, I can't fucking see it. And like, yeah, that's a dark fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
If
honestly,
they're half
a movie like that, I go see at the IMAX, my local IMAX, because I know the bulb's going to be
right.
Good.
Right.
There.
You had to. I was very, I saw that in Alamo Drafthouse, or I saw that at Nighthawk, I think, in Brooklyn, and they're a good legit theater.
Yeah.
But I can totally see you saw that at your local fucking AMC or Regal, and like, yeah, you probably couldn't fucking see it. Like,
I've got a Regal that's like I could throw a football and hit it. It's so close to my house, but I almost never go there because half the bulbs are.
Yeah. A sub.
And I'm like, ugh.
Do you have a bow tie out there? Anywhere close by? I don't know how national that chain is. They might be more like Eastern. But a bow tie's good if you got one. I spent a lot of my 20s at a bow tie in New Haven that no longer exists. R.I.P. the Criterion. But thankfully, city where I moved, I could throw a football and not hit at all a Criterion around here, or a bow tie around here. Recommend a bow tie. Like a bow tie. It's a good half measure between an AMC, like a good quality theater. You can get a beer, but they're not bringing it into the theater. You know, It's not a full. The full service gimmick, I'm kind of over.
I don't like people coming in to deliver food when the movie started.
I don't mind it, but I'm over it.
Yeah. I mean, my ideal theater is like the one, it's called the Hollywood we have in Portland, which is like a landmark from 100 years ago. It plays some new movies, but mostly old movies. And
Got it.
You know, the crowd you're going to see at that theater is like respectful. And, you know,
We have
not a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, hell yeah. We have the Bird Theater here, kind of similar to that. Of like, it's mostly repertory, like kind of older stuff screenings. Seats like 1,200. It's this old fucking theater, and it rules. It rules hard. But yeah. So my bloody... Oh, I forgot to introduce the other element. It's Halloween. It's our spooky one. I've hooked up a ghost box.
What's a ghost box, Brian?
This is some very fancy ghost hunting equipment. Very real, very legit. And it's sort of like an audio Ouija board. It's a modified AM/FM radio. And what it's going to do is it's going to rapidly scan through FM channels. And occasionally, if a spirit, maybe over the course of this episode, wishes to speak with us, it can stop the frequencies and give us little pieces of a potentially relevant something someone is saying. It can stop on it and give us a little piece of...
And if this was the kind of show that we spent a lot of time on and like planned ahead, we would have a gimmick ready for like... I would have a pre-recording of some joke that you land on, but that's not the case.
That is not the case.
Anything that you hear is real.
Because roughly 10 minutes before we started recording, I saw the ghost box and was like, that's a Halloween show. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask right now, Zach, I'm going to ask that you get... as you can see here, I have lit a handful of candles. I have a ceremonial little altar here with some candles lit.
Yes.
And I've set up this room to be very, very open to
Brian,
spirits.
are you bleeding from your hands?
Shut
you have stigmata
up.
right now?
I'm
What
just
the hell
fucking
is
trying
going
to
on?
make it real, Zach.
Oh, you did that to yourself. Okay, it's a hoax. It's a self-inflicted stigmata.
It's just trying to get in the spiritual zone here. Like I'm one of you, ghosts. So, Zach, I'm going to need you, of course, to, as we've practiced, I need you to get your hands in the position, and we are going to ask the spirit realm, hello, any Halloween spirit. We're recording this. It's after midnight. It's Halloween. It is Halloween now.
Oh, it is
The
where you
veil,
are. Yeah,
yes, where I am, it's Halloween. So the veil, specifically on the East Coast, is thinner now. So any spirits who want to speak with us, it's the best time to do it. Hello, spirits. Could you please tell us anything you would like to let us know about the 2009 film My Bloody Valentine? I didn't hear anything. Unfortunately, it seems no, but that's okay. That's okay. As we speak about it, it might excite some thoughts into. We'll check in with the ghosts.
Yeah. The ghosts are divided.
I would also like to note if Satan himself would like to come onto the show. It'd be a huge honor.
I'm gonna pass on that. I'm not gonna invite.
Okay.
On your side, if he wants to come on your side, that's totally whatever.
It's only Halloween over here, so he can only get over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
On Satan.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. I think that's gonna really hurt kind of the vibe that you've set. If like, hey, can I invite a friend? You're like, well, you can hang out with him, but I'm not going to. That's really gonna hurt our chances. But it's fine. It's
Can I
fine.
come in? No. Damn it.
Okay. as I peek my fucking microphone. My Bloody Valentine 3D. This is
a remake of a film from the 70s,
1981. It's a Canadian slasher film. It's directed by the original is directed by a guy named George Milhaka. It was not a huge success, but sort of hit a cult status later. And just kind of in that 81, where like Halloween was a couple of years ago, there's a handful of holiday themed slashers catching up after Halloween and Black Christmas. So just Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, just anything they can hit. I think Mother's Day is going to come.
Arbor Day.
Yes.
Yeah,
any holiday we can get where we're throwing a slasher in. And this one is, once again, cultish, but a cult is like, it's pretty good. I have not seen it myself.
Seen the original?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I should. Once it shows up on Tubi, I'm on it. Because this 2009 one, we picked it kind of as a joke. Not a joke, but like, we'll be like, this will be bad and we can make fun of it. Like, I wasn't expecting
we were like, we want it to be bad, but good bad, not bad, because we've done bad, and that's just no fun for anyone.
Truly. And even good isn't the right kind of fun.
No, because we were kicking around another movie that might have been good. Right. And that would have been...
Not especially coming back, we haven't like done this in a little bit.
Right, yeah.
This, like, for me, hit that perfect balance of this was extremely watchable, flirted with being good, with it, but still is ridiculous and very stupid.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you and I were texting before we recorded, and it might be the second best slasher of the aughts.
Which is more damning of the slashers in the aughts than Flowers.
Yeah, no, it's not
movie.
A compliment. It's just, that's shocking and should tell you.
It's,
like the other, I think Scream 3 is the number one.
Scream 3, I think like, wins by default.
Considered one of the worst of the Scream movies. I like it, but it's generally considered. Yeah. And that, I think, was released in 2000 after production delays, so it's barely in the odds. It's like should have been 99.
Yeah. This movie feels like a straight slasher in the way you don't get very often. It's just straightforward. It's an hour 40 minutes. It's mostly about the kill set pieces. We introduce some characters, we fucking kill them. There's boobs in it. Like, it's it's Get Out.
It's directed by a guy who I think was involved in the first 3 Scream movies, maybe producer or something
he was an editor.
Editor, that's right.
Film editor on most of Wes Craven's latter films, including New Nightmare, Vampire in Brooklyn, Red Eye, and all 4 entries in Scream. His directorial debut was The Prophecy 3, The Ascent. He co-wrote and directed the Craven-produced Dracula 2000. He also directed White Noise, The Light, which was a financial failure despite positive critical reception. He did the English remake of...
These are all a lot of direct-to-video in there. It's like the Dracula movies.
Yes.
The Dracula 2000 series of White Noise 2.
Yes. He also did The Eye, starring Jessica Alba, which is a remake of a Japanese film. He was visual consultant on Whisper and Darkness Falls, and according to Wikipedia, amongst others. What I also thought was interesting was he's directed a handful of other like non-horror things as well. Largely, it seems like a respectable journeyman of a guy. Vancouver, British Columbia worker. Which is fun connection there.
Love it.
And he was...
Well, the reason I brought up... Oh, go ahead.
He was slated to write and direct Rob Zombie's Halloween 3. Though that movie never came to pass. Though that would have been him. And I don't know, based on this one, I would have seen, I don't know, might have been more fun than...
Oh, no, for sure. I wonder if it would have been a kind of a don't worry about the first two.
I also wonder that, yeah. There's not a lot of room to go after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
No. And there wasn't like a huge audience like, well, what happens next?
That's why I think it didn't happen.
The reason I brought up the Scream connection is because this movie, My Bloody Valentine 3D, is very Scream-like, except for minus any comedy at all. So it's just like...
Yes.
I mean, maybe a few jokes, but it's like more traditional slasher movie jokes. It's not like...
It's very
meta humor or
2000s
anything like that.
Serious. Like, it's very gritty.
But it has the slasher element, and then it has like similar kind of set pieces that Scream has, and then it has the whodunit kind of mystery element of who's the killer.
I will say, and I had seen this before. I a couple of years ago I watched this, and but it was it was effective. It made no lasting impression. So they let that halt my as I'm about to talk about like this movie being good. Yeah. Keep in mind I've seen it before and I didn't remember it, but I had enough, not a strong, but enough of a well, who did it?
Yeah,
they flirt with it being some people, and like
the only thing I remembered about it was who did it.
Got it.
And so even then I was like, did I remember wrong a couple times?
It's
like,
they
maybe.
effectively move you around a couple times. I was impressed.
Yeah. Look, this is a movie that I was involved watching the whole time. Which after, as a guy who just watched all the Halloween movies, let me tell you, that's not nothing.
Yes.
That's not nothing.
I threw this on my computer. I threw my computer on my... I had a whole sink full of dishes to do. And I watched this while doing dishes. And honestly, just made dishes go by very pleasantly.
Yeah.
This was very pleasant dishwashing content. So what I'm going to do is read from the Wikipedia summary. If you haven't joined us for a Halloween Spooktacular before, or any of other like movie shows, the Wikipedia summary for movies are different from our usual Talon mixes. They're not usually written to dramatically reveal the plot.
No.
So we're going to fill in some gaps. That said, this one's pretty simple. On Valentine's Day 1997, 6 miners are trapped underground by an explosion at the Hanninger mine in the small mining community of Harmony. This is all being told through incredibly 3D newspaper. Like, if you don't know this is a 3D movie, it's, everyone's sitting down, they've got their 3D glasses on, you got to hit them with a 3D fast. So there's this very stupid, like, newspaper clippings coming out in the text, the headlines like wah toward the screen.
Yeah, because anytime you see a movie in 3D, you're always like, the audience is always like, is it working? Are my glasses working? You got to let them know right away. Like nowadays they will have like a warning like, this trailer is not in 3D. Like, don't freak out and go yell at the usher. They did. I saw Coraline in 3D for the re-release a couple months ago, and there was a warning like, "That's so chill out,
chill. It's all good. Don't panic."
Yeah.
That's really funny. That's it. You had texted me like, "There's never been a movie that's lost more not being in 3D," but I deeply love 3D movies in 2D, like true, like 3D, like Friday the 13th 3, Jaws 3D. I always think it's so fucking funny. And also, like I said up top, the 3D effect isn't that cool, so it's still like, when you see it. Like,
you're right, yeah.
I still get the laugh every time, like, spoiler, a jaw gets ripped towards the screen.
Right, yeah, brains come flying at the screen.
Yes. Okay, so by the time rescuers reach the miners, they find only comatose Harry Warden still alive. Further investigation reveals that Warden killed the other miners to conserve oxygen. Tom Hanninger, son of the mine's owner, is blamed for the explosion as he forgot to vent the methane lines that caused the collapse. I found this a little confusing in the storytelling.
It's pretty convoluted little opening there.
We get this exposition dump, and then we get another little like prequel beat that's not an enactment of this. So it's not a very clean little bit of storytelling here. What you actually probably should have done is started present day if you wanted to make this a good movie, which this movie's not that concerned about. But
right, or you start with the kids in the mine and the guy attacks them or whatever. Like, the movie's like starts with a little newspaper narration prologue, then it's the hospital and he kills a bunch of people, then it jumps to the mines and it's like a few weeks after the mine accident and Jensen Ackles is there with a party, and then it jumps 10 years. And
right. It's got a lot going on up here. It's more convoluted than a movie this stupid should kind of be. So 1 year later, Warden has awakened from his coma and is now murdering as an act of revenge. He starts by killing numerous patients and staff at the hospital where he was a patient, leaving a victim's heart in a box of chocolates. As far as like dishwashing content goes, this movie just gets pedal to the metal right in. Like, we're going to get some fucking stupid 3D kills.
Yes. Yeah. There's some like gnarly bodies in the hospital. Not even like cut in half.
Hello, any ghosts, any spirits out there, or demons? Any thoughts so far on our film? Thought I heard all dead up there at first, which is, yeah, you're right. That's a good addition. That's a good addition to the story so far. Thank you, ghosts. Nothing. Okay. All right, it's fine. They don't have much to say yet. We haven't gotten that far in, so I get it. Okay. So while Tom, his girlfriend Sarah, their friends Irene and Axel, and other teenagers party inside the mine, so we were introduced. Tom is Jensen Ackles. Yeah. Axel is a shitheel who doesn't like Jensen Ackles.
Played by a guy from Dawson's Creek and a bunch of other those kinds of shows.
He did not look familiar to me, but I believe you.
He definitely was on Dawson's Creek.
This has very CW TV actor energy here.
I mean, that was what we did in the aughts. It was like, you go on CW show, you're a regular, you get to do a few horror movies. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
It was like the single A ball club, and then the bad horror movies were the double A ball club.
Yes.
Maybe you get called up to the triple A, and then like, ooh, the majors. Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
The horror movie.
What's his name? Who's Jensen Ackles is a Supernatural co-star. He was in Friday the
13th. That was his,
which was also 2009. So they both took their off season to do some horror movies, which he was already in House of Wax, which was 2005, which was not very good.
Which one?
The not Jensen Ackles one, whose name I'm forgetting. The one I know more of because I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan.
Something Lecky,
the Jared Padalecki or something like that.
Padalecki, sure,
something like that. House of Wax, which we talked about briefly last year, which I was listening to before. That was the big see Paris Hilton die one. And, that movie was funny. My wife and I were watching it just kind of randomly. I think it was on Tubi, and that one we were kind of trying to vibe out and figure out what the fuck we were going for here. And about 45 minutes in, I was like, what the fuck year is this from? And that's when I see this is 1 year after Saw. Got it. Saw happened. And just then the movie transformed into a Saw knockoff.
It heard you.
Yes. Okay, so Tom is Jensen Ackles. Sarah is his girlfriend. There's Axel and his girlfriend Irene. We're learning Axel doesn't like Tom. Sarah is a nice, good girl. Who the virgin of the slasher tropes. Okay, so Warden, wearing mining gear and a gas mask, attacks them with a pickaxe. Sarah, Irene, and Axel escape, but Tom is left behind with Warden. We get a couple of kills here of partygoers. Don't party in a mine. Don't party in a mine, especially a mine.
Especially one where there was an accident just last year.
What are you all
that killed a
doing?
bunch of people.
This is not safe. Adult teens. Hey, adult teens, don't party here. I will say I was waiting for the bit where we see the first kill, which is a very funny, like, pickaxe through the eye, miscellaneous party goer. It's like, hey, party time! And then pickaxe eye goes flying towards the screen. Very funny. I was waiting for it's just a prank bit. And I was saying, like, nah, this movie goes hard. In the first 12 minutes, we're getting some pretty gnarly kills.
What I liked about that sequence is there's a part where Axel and the two girls are hiding, and like there's already been a couple people killed, and this idiot party goer, this teenager, like walks around the corner. He sees two clearly dead bodies,
so dead,
decapitated, cut in half, and he's doing the like hello, and he goes, "Come on, dude, you're scaring me." There are bodies on the floor.
Time to run.
Out of there.
Time to go.
Like, dude, you're freaking me out. What do you mean you're freaking? Yeah, they're dead. They're dead.
Ghosts, do you have any advice for someone who is in a party in a mine and sees two dead bodies? That's not helpful, Ghosts.
Yeah, the ghost is just
Ghosts
doesn't know what it feels tonight.
You're fucking embarrassing me. I trudge out the ghost box, I hook it up, and you don't have anything to fucking say?
Of course, the ghost box, it's not real ghost hunting technology.
It's not real ghost hunting technology. And, hey, ghosts, I'm starting to think you're not here.
Oh, now you did it.
I'm going to put us in a fucking horror movie, Zach. I'm going to put us in a fucking horror movie, Zach.
Stay over there,
what
Ghost.
Can I do?
He's the one.
I'm having my notebook. I am drawing I'm pulling out, this is for real. I've got a pencil here, and I'm drawing a fucking, I'm pentagram, 666, and a
Brian,
mean
you're drawing
face.
a penis. Don't lie to the audience.
I got a fucking mean, angry face here, and I'm waving it around the ghost box. I invite you. I invite you here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
This is the start of a horror movie that gets some buzz, but then everyone sees and is like, eh.
Yeah, watch us still not go viral. Watch me get possessed by the fucking devil and we still don't go viral. Okay, Sheriff Burke arrives and shoots Warden before he can kill the severely traumatized Tom. But Warden staggers away deeper into the mine. Any other thoughts on this opening?
No.
It's kind of gnarly. It goes hard. I was kind of waiting for, and don't get me wrong. There's a dip around like the 40 to 60 is a little rough. There's like 20 minutes that get like, and we got to pad this out. But otherwise, for the most part, this is all set pieces.
Yeah, until there's a dead period, until we get to the grocery store set piece, and then we're back, baby.
Yes. That's it. This is all still pretty good here. So we cut to 10 years later, and yeah, it's just kind of what we were saying before of like, we got an exposition dump, and then we cut to a year later, and then we're now 10 years later, like, fuck, what is happening?
Jensen Ackles, much like in real life, has discovered the fountain of youth because he has not aged a day.
Yes. Before we go, I do have pulled up the bloodydisgusting.com's interview with Jensen Ackles that I watched a couple minutes of that we do have to watch here.
Yes. Awesome.
It is insane. Okay, so 10 years later, Tom returns to Harmony after his father dies. He is selling the mine, which angers mine manager Ben Foley. We get a establishing shot of this. I don't think it's supposed to diegetically be Pennsylvania, but this is shot in Pennsylvania. And we get a bit of a newscast explaining 10 years ago there was a terrible murder here. And they also describe it as the murder capital of the world.
Right, yeah.
How
many people did this one dude kill? He brought their average way up.
Right, because then later we learn that Axel, the guy who didn't like Jensen Ackles, is now the sheriff, and he's chastised for too busy arresting bicycle thieves in the murder capital of the country.
I clocked the same thing.
That sounds like
murder capital of the world on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Only on Valentine's Day.
That seems like a little whoopsie in some of the writing. But Axel, now the town's sheriff, has married Sarah, but is having an affair with her co-worker Megan. We learn this by in an old dilapidated house. He's we see them canoodling a little bit. They have a little I probably won't see you on Valentine's Day. She hands him a little box of chocolates, and we get a little bit of maybe you should tell your wife about us, and he's like, maybe. And then so Megan hands him the chocolates. And then he goes,
Megan, played by the lady from The Blacklist.
Wow.
She's on the show The Blacklist.
Wow. A friend of mine's.
She hands him the chocolate. She hands him the chocolate.
A friend of mine's butt is on The Blacklist. There's some establishing shot at a bowling alley, and her face is never on it, but they close in on her butt as she bowls at the bowling alley.
She's sure it's hers.
What's that?
Sure.
Positive.
She's sure, yeah.
That's But so she hands him the chocolates, and he says, I didn't get you anything, sort of dismissively, a little sorrowful. I don't quite know where he is, how conflicted he is in all of this, but I didn't get you anything. And she says, you already have, and then whispers to him, I'm pregnant. But it's sort of like
good news.
A good news little whisper, not a, hey, we need to talk about you accelerating blowing your life up because you have raw dogged me and now I'm knocked up and we need to talk about what that means. That's not a fun little tidbit for your affair partner.
No, this is a conversation. That's not like what I say before I leave.
And then,
comment.
Right, there's no further conversation here of oh God. Not no even
I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this for a minute.
And it'd be one thing if it was more of a gun to your head, you need to decide what you're doing because I'm pregnant. It's a fun, flirty, you'll be stoked to know this.
Yeah, by the way, happy birthday. Yeah.
You need to decide what this is now.
No, in his reaction, it's no poker face.
No.
Whoa.
Ghosts, what would you do in this situation?
Yo, garbage, you're coming with me.
I heard it very clear. I mean, she's coming with me.
Yeah, okay, all right. She's coming with you.
All right. I don't quite know what that means, but it's very clear.
No, clearly that means that if the ghosts were Axel, they were going to blow their life up because she's coming with them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
She's coming with us.
I will say the ghosts only have to work with what's being said on the radio. You know, so there is a level of interpretation has to be done. Okay, so where were we? Tom is selling the mine, which angers mine manager Ben Foley. Axel, now the town sheriff, has married Sarah but is having an affair with her coworker Megan. At the motel, oh God, okay, we're skipping ahead so far. We meet a whole bunch of people around the town, including the former sheriff, who is played by, what is his fucking name? I'm blanking on it. He's a horror icon. You are muted.
Tom Atkinson.
Tom
star of
Atkinson.
Halloween 3. Star of Halloween 3.
Star of the Halloween that's not a Michael Myers movie. It's just also a Halloween movie, I guess.
But also happens to be the second best Halloween.
It's also the second best Halloween. So, okay, quick aside. We've been recording a new show that we're very excited about and is really good. And we got about halfway through a Halloween episode that isn't going to come out this year, but we'll have to save it for next year. We got the meat of it recorded, and then we didn't do any of the fun stuff, and the fun stuff was going to be a lot of it. But at some point that will come out because it's really good.
Probably next Halloween.
Yes.
Probably next Halloween.
So we talk a lot. So look forward, I guess, to a lot of like Tom Atkins praise, but he plays a real piece of shit in Halloween 3 and it rules. And he's
in the best way possible.
Yes, and he's got a little piece of shit energy in this one too, and it rules.
Yeah.
There's a moment here where he sucks really hard, and it's great. And I was like, "There's Tom. That's Tom, baby.
That's his vibe." Yeah. I'm just disappointed he didn't leave anyone to go get a beer.
Yeah.
Well, he was at a bar in one scene.
He was in a bar in one scene. So he's the former sheriff of the town.
Yes.
Anything we want to talk about before we get to the motel?
Well, did we talk about how Jensen Ackles is back in town? Yeah, we did. Okay. He was gone for 10
He was gone
years
for a while.
now.
He's coming back to sell the mine.
Yes.
His father passed away.
His ex. He ran into Sarah, who's now married to Axel, and there were sparks.
Right.
And,
they still got a connection there.
There's still something there.
Okay, so at the motel where Tom is staying, a masked assailant murders Irene and two other people. Irene murders Irene.
Irene was Axel's girlfriend in the prologue,
right?
And now she's the naked woman. I mean, this is the longest sustained sequence of gratuitous nudity maybe in horror history.
And I, honest to God,
naked.
respect it. I respect.
I mean, I was thinking what a performance, like a physical performance to run around and do all the shit she does naked. In this sequence.
Seriously, the nudity kind of went away in horror, and because I mean, let's be real, horror has its plenty of its history in just being a salacious, crap genre, boardwalk carnival crap genre, and
that's kind of what this movie is.
Absolutely, it's very much evoking that, and I will say if I had saw this in 2009, I would have been like, "Brah, gratuitous nudity, cheap stuff." I think I miss a little of the cheap. Don't get me wrong. Pay the actress well, and don't fucking harass her on set. Make her feel safe on set. But if other than that, if you're cool with it, I like a little salaciousness in my horror, and I think we should bring it back a little bit.
This is like a 10-minute sequence where she's naked the entire
She's
time.
naked
and she's not
the
just in
whole
bed.
time.
She's walking around. She runs outside. She's doing like gymnastics.
Yes,
essentially, in this sequence.
And I don't mean this in a wah wah wee wah kind of way, like titties. Let me see titties kind of way. Just like I bring a little salaciousness back to horror. I think
it's not just titty. I mean, it's T and A and a little bit of.
There's everything. Yeah. There's a little bush in here.
Full on. Yeah.
I think I want a little danger back in horror. I think the kids are a little afraid of sexuality these days. I think put it back.
I mean, in general, there's so much less sex in movies these days.
I think
a far cry from our prime in the aughts.
I'm not right.
We maybe overcorrected. We maybe overcorrected a little.
I think we did. I think this is Old Man Brian on a soapbox right now, and I'm not equipped to talk about this right now on our Halloween show of our white dudes talking about Smallville and 2000s era stuff podcast. But there is, have you heard the phrase like Puritans?
Yes.
It's kids a little afraid of sex these days, and the way things shift of like it is. I think we're part of a liberal generation, and however it dices up, the kids will get more conservative, and then that will become more liberal. But like, there's
what's
a
interesting
chunk of
is
kids
that it's got to be mostly on the surface, right? Because they're all watching just disgusting porn.
Disgusting porn. But I think it's also a reaction. I think that's also a reaction to that of like getting exposed to like really fucked up shit real early. Like I spent my adolescent sexuality looking at the bras in the JCPenney catalog, you know?
Right, yeah.
And
Maxim magazine was as hardcore as I got.
And then now you can see fucked up shit on, like, immediately by accident. And that's not good. That's not good.
No, I'll agree. I tend to agree. I don't think it was good for me when I saw it in my 20s or whatever.
I don't think it's good for me now.
No, it's not. It's not healthy.
It's I don't think it's good when I'm looking at just as crazy as fucking pornography can be these days, and I can be like, nah, I'm a little bored of this. Like,
yawn.
Yeah, it's like this should be like, what the fuck? And now I'm like, I've seen it.
It's like Cirque du Soleil level performance happening, and you're like, I don't know. Not really doing it for me.
And so I understand where a certain like conservative bend comes to these kids, not politically necessarily, but like sexually, yeah. But anyway, a little salaciousness in horror I appreciate. Just, be cool on set and make everybody feel safe and comfortable with their job. So, a masked assailant murders Irene and two other people. That's the owner of the inn and the trucker who, after the extended 3D boobies sex scene with Irene, he gets everything. He gets a very funny pickaxe through the head. It's a good little bit.
He deserves it because he was filming her without her consent within the story of the movie.
This is definitely in the we're going to kill people and we're going to justify them by being shitty, which leads to an interesting, fun fake out later. But yeah, we'll get into that when it comes. But like,
don't spoil it before we spoil it.
I'm not going to, but it's interesting. It's an interesting little they do a thing and they play with that, and I like it. So, camera footage from the scene. The camera footage was the trucker taking an unauthorized sex tape. Reveals the killer dressed as a minor, starting rumors that Warden has returned. Axel receives a chocolate box containing Irene's heart, which is cool as fuck. It's good.
Not for Irene.
Not for Irene. That sucks. And you can see the pickaxe hole in it. It's just for a slasher to be unpretentiously just like gross and like, oh man, it's a Valentine's Day murder and he's putting a heart in a heart-shaped box of chocolate. Like, it's fucking stupid. And this has very 70s drive-in energy, and not in a we put a 70s filter over it the way, and like it just no feels dumb and salacious and exploitative.
Yes.
In a way I very much just
but it looks
liked.
every bit the aughts movie.
It does look like an aughts movie. I think it actually looks pretty good. It was apparently shot in 4K in 2009. 4K in 2009 is pretty impressive.
Well, for the 3D, right?
That's I think you have to be higher quality because the 3D is going to degrade that quality. Yeah. But it looks pretty good.
No, I think it looks very good. Yeah.
Not like we don't have an artsy cinematographer here. This is all journeyman work we're getting, But
no, but it doesn't look like turquoise garbage.
No, it looks like a movie.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tom reconnects with Sarah and apologizes for his 10-year absence. I don't have much to say about that.
No.
The story here isn't interesting.
No, he was gone. Everyone blamed him for this thing. He almost got killed. Now he's back. He's going to sell the mine. No one in town likes him except for her.
Right. We are getting a bit here of Axel, the cop who's married to Sarah, is very about the whole Tom situation. Like, why are you seeing him? Like, you fucking impregnated another lady. You gotta be a lot percent chiller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not only are you cheating on your wife, but you've impregnated her friend and coworker. So like, shut the fuck up with your suspicion about
the fuck up. You are projecting so hard, my guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, I think that's intentional in the script to make him super unlikable, so you don't suspect him or you think he's going to get killed off or whatever.
Right.
Instead of like kind of be one of the co-heroes of the piece.
Right.
But he's a piece of shit. I don't like this guy. I wish he got killed in the movie.
Does not rule. Okay, looking for Ben in the mine. Tom is Ben, of course, being the killer. The fabled.
No, he's looking for Ben,
the guy who owns
the manager of the mine, because he talked to his ex-girlfriend and she guilt tripped him, and now he's like, maybe I won't sell the mine.
Right.
So he's going down there to talk to the manager and tell him, you know what, I changed my mind.
It's if the whole thing with the mine is like, it's connected to his father and he has a bad relationship with it, obviously also because of the killer in it, and like selling it, you're probably selling it to someone who wants to keep mining, right? So like, I don't
right, yeah.
I don't quite.
Is it going to be cheaper for them to bring people from out of town to do it?
Yeah, right. Are they going to are they shutting down this mine for the land, or like you're going to hire a new mine? That doesn't make sense to me. Admittedly, I don't know a lot about mine acquisitions. That could be completely part of it. But like
robots, they're going to get replaced by robots.
Right. I don't know. Seems like, yeah, if you're still working the mine, but also it also seems like if this town is reliant on the mine, it seems pretty easy to become like, I own this, but like someone else handles all of it. And then I just collect the money. That seems easy.
Yeah.
But also, once again, I don't know anything about owning a mine.
No, and it is the murder capital of the world.
And it's the murder capital of the world. So looking for Ben in the mine, Tom is locked inside a utility cage by the miner, who murders Red, the worker accompanying Tom, and vanishes before help arrives. Tom insists that the warden has returned, but Axel reveals that Ben and Burke found and killed Warden after his attack 10 years ago. Ben being the miner guy.
I do like how he's like, all he sees is the guy with the same miner mask doing the killings. And I like how he's like, it's Harry, he's back. It couldn't be another guy in the mask.
Someone does at some point say, like, it's a mining town. There's tons of mining suits. But
yeah. I mean, we don't even consider that.
Right.
We're telling people that The ghost is back.
Yeah. The group visits the woods where Warden's body was buried, but they find that the grave is empty. It's...
Dun, dun, dun.
We do leave like, oh, we killed him, we shot him. We killed him, we shot him, we buried him here. Like, even if he was alive, it's still kind of crazy to dig yourself out of a grave, right? Like...
He had to have had help.
Right.
Let's ask the ghosts. Can you dig? Ask the ghosts if they can dig themselves out of their graves.
Hey, ghosts.
How does that work?
How does it work? Can you dig yourselves out of a grave? Is that just like easy once you're...
Inhale 5 and...
I can't say... Yeah, I can't say definitively. If anyone listening heard anything, or let us know in the Discord, I guess.
I didn't hear. I heard some noises, though.
Yeah.
Some weird... Yeah, a lot of music. These ghosts are musical.
Yeah. So Tom resolves to track down and stop Warden. Searching the woods, he finds the shack that Axel and Megan have been using for their affair. That night, the miner kills Ben and leaves his body in Warden's grave. Axel realizes the killer must be one of the few people aware of the grave and becomes suspicious of Tom and Burke. Burke is Tom Atkinson.
Yes.
Okay, we got 2 paragraphs left. We're getting into... this is... Where we're at right now is the meh dip in the movie. I believe you described it as... There's a bit where
plot.
nothing's flying at the screen.
No, yeah, it's just all investigation and people talking. And it's
not
don't get me wrong,
it's not
still,
unpleasant.
No, it's still watchable in a way that no part of the fog was. Zero scenes in the fog.
This is... I think possibly... I mean, definitely in the top 2 of the 4 movies we've watched for the Halloween Spooktacular.
I think this is better than Urban Legend.
I think so, too. I think Urban Legend has, like, a couple of highs that are really fun. But I think on average, this is a much more watchable movie. I think when Urban Legends is boring, it's more boring than this one.
Yes, this is a more consistent movie. This is it knows what it is.
Yes.
And it hits the target.
Yes.
And it doesn't try to do anything else, moves on.
Correct.
So we're in and out. We get what we came for. No one who bought a ticket for this movie left disappointed.
Right, like you saw this.
in 3D, like seeing it in 3D, no one was like, that wasn't as good as I thought. It was like, no, this is exactly what
the mise en scene was a little lacking in My Bloody Valentine 3D.
But what of the metaphor? What is the metaphor?
What is it about? Really? What is the trauma here? Is this about trauma?
No one got to the end of that 10-minute nude scene and was like, oh. What?
Yes. Which means this is the best of the 4 movies we've watched so far, and I don't disagree with that at all. Like, I think it is.
No, this is the best. I mean, to be fair, one of them was a TV movie, and one of them was The Fog.
One of them is The Fog
remake, which is in the discussion for worst theatrical movie I've ever seen. I don't know if it is it, but it's in the discussion.
It's up there, dude. It's up there. It is that I've seen a lot of movies
that were released in theaters, and that's amazing to say it's in the conversation.
I
don't know what it would take to get me to watch that movie again. Like there is, I mean, obviously there's a amount of money that you could give me, but
Ghosts.
If there was a girl I was seeing who I really liked and she wanted to watch it, I don't know if I don't talk my way out of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I say,
Ghosts, what are you offering Zach to get him to watch The Fog again?
Correspondent.
Not hearing anything.
It sounded like they were offering me the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Wow, that's incredible.
I'm the MC. I'm the comedian for it, or
I don't know, or just their souls, I guess.
well, depending on who wins in a week, there may not be any souls to take.
Hi, if you're one of those people who is like, I'm not voting, please reconsider that notion. Please reconsider that notion. Unless you're going for the Nazi. Unless you're going for the Nazi, exactly. In which case, stay home.
Love fascists.
Yeah. If you saw the Madison Square Garden thing and were like, this is awesome, you can stay home. Oh, boy.
Fingers crossed.
The good news is that I've lost hope. I've just lost hope. I'm numb to it all now. But okay, that's the spookiest part of Halloween is
Can we ask the ghosts who's gonna win?
Ghosts.
Tell us now so we don't have to worry about it.
Just tell us fucking now. That's really where I'm at. I wish I could just wake up.
23. The facts of the
So I clearly heard 2023.
Yeah.
And you know who was president? You know who was vice president in 2023? Not Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris. Yeah,
so
maybe we'll have to keep asking until we get a more firm answer.
I think so.
One of those names has to pop up.
It has to. It has to.
We'll
ask again a couple of times. What if we crack this? What if we're the first to break because of ghosts? What I want to know is how is this? I listened to the last one to see what we were talking about a year ago. I wonder what next year's gonna feel like when I hear this conversation. Fuck! I'm stressed about it, dude.
I know. I have instructed a friend of mine to text me when we have a winner because I'm
seeing a movie. Fuck that. I'm voting in the morning, and then I'm not looking. I'm keeping my phone away.
Luckily, where I live, we have already voted. You can vote by mail early. I've done it. It's over.
That's good.
My part in this is done.
Great.
And the thing is, it's not like the olden days where I could be like, okay, I'll check around 10 o'clock on election night and find out who won. Now it's like indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah, right. Oh, who knows?
So
who knows? And then
I just need someone to text me when we know.
And then someone, not saying who, is going to be like, I won no matter what. And then we have to deal with that. Like you're not a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you can listen to this fucking guy, who sounds like the parts of Flowers for Algernon before he got smart, and you're like, I think this guy'd be good again, don't listen to our show. Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, it can only be frustrating for you. Maybe he listens.
I hope so.
Love Lex Luthor. Big fan of Lex Luthor. Doesn't like the media freak.
Donald, get back in the vault. Donald?
I call them media losers.
Donald, get back in the vault with Howard and Steve.
Howard doesn't like me anymore. It's gonna be awkward in the vault. Don't put him in here with me.
I'm lowering Never mind.
No, don't do it. All right, they can work it out in there.
Halloween. Okay. It's dope that we get to keep doing this every 4 years. It's dope. It's awesome. 4 years keeps coming faster and faster.
Yeah, we have to do this every 4 years, but Supreme Court we only have to do once, and then they're in there. They're fucking in there for life.
Awesome.
Sorry, this just became a whole different podcast.
Halloween show, baby. No one's listening.
A Halloween show in which we are covering a Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah. Yep. The miner attacks Sarah and Megan at their store, killing Megan just before Axel arrives. I thought this, so currently at the moment when I'm watching this, the movie wants me to think that it's Axel, right?
Yes.
And I thought it was interesting. We see Megan, who is the one Axel is having the affair with. We see get dragged through, but we don't see get killed.
No.
So I'm like, I'm on to you.
Woman, by the way, there was a second where I forgot it was 2009 big studio movie where I was like, oh God, what are we going to see here?
Yes.
Because she's pregnant and she just got murdered. And I'm like, whoa.
I will say this is an R-rated movie.
Yes.
So when my wife and I have a movie night, we like to watch like a real movie and then we watch a B movie. In, the classic tradition, we find something shittier, dumber, a high concept horror thing. And that's what we watch, after 10 o'clock. And we recently watched Tarot, which is on Netflix right now, which is the tarot card based horror movie. And we watched the first act, and it's a little, it's silly and dumb. And then after 20 minutes, the killing set pieces begin, all themed after the tarot card readings the adult teens got at their party. And we quickly realized this was a PG-13 movie, and it was all done in the dark.
Oh, no.
And and I'm, we've talked about before of I'm an adult. I don't think about movie ratings that much. I'm like, this has to be R. And I do think horror can be effective in PG-13. Not
Sure.
when it's going to hugely focus on kill set pieces.
No, yeah.
It's okay. That just means this is boring then. It's because there's the acting's the story's not good. It's all just how are these kids going to die? These adult kids going to die. So we ended up just skipping to the end. We fast forwarded through to the end because it was all just. I
actually think this set piece here in the grocery store is actually pretty good. This is where I was like, oh, this is kind of like a Scream set piece.
Yeah, it also reminded me of Intruder, which is a great 91 slasher set in a grocery store. Highly recommend Intruder.
Oh, all right. My one critique is these two ladies, late 20s, are in this grocery store at night, closing up for the night. They hear a noise that sounds like someone up front. They go up front. The door's locked. Then they hear a noise in the back of the store. So someone's in there with them. And they go to investigate. And there's a murderer about.
Yes.
A 6'5", 225 man. I'm out of there, man.
Gone.
I'm not going to go check
out the front. What am I going to do?
Just
what am I going to do?
Town. Walk up to the sheriff station and be like, hey, there's someone in the grocery store right now.
It might be the person who's putting hearts in boxes. You ain't getting my heart.
Let's go check it out.
No.
It might just be.
I don't have that. Let's go check it out energy.
Snuck into the grocery store in the middle of the night. Let's not go mess with that person.
Ghosts. Is that the right call? The ghosts want us to go investigate, and we ain't falling for that one, ghosts. We ain't falling for that one.
Ask them who's going to win the election again.
Ghosts, who's going to win the 2024 presidential election?
Y'all ready for the ultimate?
Y'all ready for the ultimate? Ghosts? I can't interpret that one. You're going to have to give me a clearer answer later. Okay. Okay. Megan is killed before Axel arrives, and it's all perfectly placed, right? Megan gets pulled through the window of the back of the store. By the time Sarah makes it to the front of the store, Axel is there. It's all perfectly coordinated for Axel to be the killer. The minor.
The only problem is I don't buy this guy as the killer for a second.
Sure. I was flipping back and forth. I was like, I could see it going a handful of ways. The miner then kills Burke, as well as the maid of Axel and Sarah's home. The maid gets thrown in the dryer, and her skin melts off in the dryer in a way I don't think would.
It's really hot, and
I guess it's really hot.
She also fits. Her whole body fits in the dryer.
It's pretty, yeah, right. I don't know if she would both fit in there and spill out in the way that she does.
Yeah, right, yeah, she'd be lodged. Right.
That said, there's a funny, you could tell, there's steam rising up from her melted skin, and that was clearly, the 3D bit. It's a fun little, Ben Gardner's boat situation of,
Right, yeah. Look, if I in that situation as the cop and I see the bloody washing machine running or dryer running, I don't open it.
No,
I don't open it.
No. Found
whatever's
it.
In
found
there
her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Burke, of course.
The victim is.
Burke, of course, is Tom Atkinson, the former police chief. So he's about to go investigate the house where a murder appears to have happened with a current cop who was kind of standing on stakeout in front of the house. And so she asked Tom Atkinson, do you want to take point? And Tom Atkinson goes, I'm retired, making her go do it. And I'm that's our Tom. Tom's here.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I got to go get a beer. Yeah. You know what? I might have got his name wrong. I think it's Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So that's a good bit. And then Burke gets one of the better kills in one of the better 3D kills. The pickaxe, the mining pickaxe, goes through his jaw, and then the jaw rips off and then goes to the screen. And it's a good little bit. I bet the theater had a good laugh with that one.
And no one was laughing at me. Never.
Zach, I'm going to be real. You went real robot there, buddy. Can you hit that one more time? I think you're stabled out.
Internet. Give me that.
I
have to change the internet.
We're having some internet issues, and we'll be right back. We're here. We're back. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Tom Atkins just died.
Yeah. Shit gets fucking wrecked towards the screen. It's a good kill. We just had another drop there. Ghosts, are you responsible for this? Zach and I's face just went ominous. That's not. That was a little spooky. No thanks. All right. Hey, Ghosts, who wins the 2024 election? They don't know. It's a close one, Zach. It's close.
Yeah, it's a toss-up. Even the ghost is like, what the fuck if I know?
Also, I'm a ghost. I can't see the future.
Yeah, I'll tell you about the past. You don't know something about the 1800s?
Yeah. It sucked. We didn't have Game Boys.
Yeah, I could tell you that Lincoln won an election. I've been giving I've had a very fun little gig here in Richmond giving ghost tours, and I have been formally asked to stop referring to Civil War era Richmond as the find out era after the fuck around era. I've been told to stop referring to the Reconstruction of Richmond as that. We'll find out. That's amazing. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Brian. That makes me so happy. Oh, the find out era. Oh, that's so good.
That's what happened, man. That's what happened.
And much like their leader, Trump,
yeah,
they're refusing to respect the results of that conflict.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Tom shows up at the hospital telling Sarah he has to show her something he found in Axel's cabin. She checks herself out and accompanies Tom. As they drive, Tom suggests that Axel is the killer. Axel calls and urges Sarah to get away from Tom, whom he says is the killer. Axel has discovered that Tom spent the last 7 years in a mental institution. I will say Jensen Ackles, who we liked on Smallville. We didn't like what he got, but we liked. He's doing a pretty good, like, ha 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 ha, I'm not crazy bit here.
Yes.
There's a good little, like...
He's good.
There's, and credit to this movie, there is just enough. I think it's you. Maybe it's not you, but I think it's you, but maybe it's not.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I've seen it and I still was like, do I remember it right?
Yeah. They thread the needle pretty well here. It's surprisingly well for a movie of this kind of...
The only difference between this and like the Scream version of it is Scream, there's like 30 suspects, and in this, there's basically 2 for most of it.
My wife and I went to this brewery we like sometimes has an event called Good for Her Films, and it's a film series. They show a female-centric horror movie, and for October they did Scream, and it's you're definitely watching a movie in a brewery, like projected at a brewery, like it's not a movie theater experience, but it's still a full room focusing on the movie. And man, what a fucking good movie. What a fucking good movie.
So good. Yeah.
Okay, so Tom becomes increasingly agitated, and Sarah, believing Axel, grabs the wheel and crashes the car before escaping into the woods. Basically, Axel on the phone is like, you need to get out of that car now. And Sarah tries to I was on the phone with my mom and I need to go back to my son. And Jensen Ackles pulls a really good, like, that wasn't your mom.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
He's being creepy, but he's still on the line of like,
this could be a dude desperate to explain his side of it.
Yes, exactly.
I was shockingly impressed by how well this is. Like, considering like the context we did this movie, I'm like, this is working. They're pulling off what they went for here. And I think this whole movie basically does.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we got our last paragraph here. Sarah hides in Axel's cabin. There she discovers evidence of Axel's affair and a tower of empty Valentine gift boxes. I will say I thought that pointed to Axel being the killer, and I was a little disappointed because I thought it'd be more exciting if it was Jensen Ackles. And I was sort of like, oh, okay. I know I get it, and I could have figured that was where this was going, but all right. The miner appears and chases her into the mine. She is hiding in the mine when Axel arrives, and Sarah grabs his gun. Tom shows up, and Sarah holds the 2 men at gunpoint as they each accuse each other of being the killer. Tom, however, so before this, it's a really great bit is Axel goes, she's like, which of you do I shoot? Who's one of you is the killer. It's either my husband or my old boyfriend. Who am I going to shoot? And Axel's the one like, you got to shoot both of us. Shoot both of us.
Yes.
Because either way, if you don't do that, you're going to be in the room potentially with the killer. Shoot both of us. Which I think don't get me wrong, don't have an affair and impregnate a lady. Don't do that.
No,
That's a shitty thing to do to somebody. Like, I do think it's interesting to portray a dude, especially in a movie as like simple as this is, of like who like made a fucked up and did bad shit, but does love his wife. And
I do like horror movies because you can have a character who is a piece of shit.
Yes, bad husband all around.
just like the Tom Atkins in Halloween 3. Like, this guy is a piece of shit, but he is going up against pure evil. So like,
right.
We're rooting for this guy. I mean, it's very similar to most elections.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yes.
I'm not stoked about rooting for this guy.
Right.
But...
Right. Oh, great. We get traditional bureaucrat bullshit versus Nazis.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. This is great.
I have been in the unfavorable position of trying to explain to some relatives the difference between normal bureaucrat politician bullshit and like what Trump represents, and trying to do it without being condescending or a prick. But also, that's the whole thing.
It's 2024. It's been like 10 years of this, and like you kind of like the Nazi shit now, don't you? You're kind of like, now I just kind of know who would have been a Nazi.
Yeah. They're like, well, Kamala's full of shit. And you're like, yes, in normal politician ways. In normal bureaucrat politician bullshit
in
ways.
Massaging the truth kind of ways, which I'm not saying is great, but there's a difference between I'm going to spew so much bullshit that you can't fucking tell right from left. Like,
no, yeah, and I'm going to try to destroy the foundations of democracy.
I'm sorry this is what this is descended into, but this is what you get when you're listening to a podcast like a week from election day.
Fuck it, Brian, ask the ghosts again. I need
ghosts! We need a definitive fucking answer.
And I have...
One of their names has to come up. It's the radio. It's an FM radio. Like,
can you do AM radio? Then the chances go way up.
It's the ghosts. The ghosts decide where we are. It is AM FM, but the ghosts are deciding. One more, guys. Fuck off, ghosts. God damn. I'm gonna do, Zach, before this episode ends, we are going to do everything we can to increase the spiritual energy in the room that I am in and get a fucking answer. Because that's the thing. I can't live in the uncertainty. I feel like I can mentally prep for it's over, we fucked up, it's done, this country's bad. But I hate this week where like it could go either way.
Right, yes. The uncertainty.
Yeah.
Just I want to rip it off like a Band-Aid.
You're right. If it happens, I feel like you and I, it won't be like when we texted in 2016 and we're like, is this happening? What the fuck? It'll just be like, this country fucking is bullshit and, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just want to know. Once again, sorry this is the Halloween episode, but also this is the scariest shit possibly fucking imaginable.
Yeah, this is definitely horrifying.
I have a daughter and this sucks. Okay. Tom, however, mentions the way Megan was killed. Basically, Megan we see in the back alley previously beforehand. It has written above her dead corpse in blood, "Be my Valentine forever," or something like that, which is what Megan wrote in the card to Axel when she was like, "I'm pregnant," just in a fun way. And Sarah to Tom, it's like, "Hey, how'd you know Megan was dead?"
Yeah.
To which she's like, "You told me." I was like, "How'd you fucking know what was written?"
Rookie killer mistake.
Rookie killer mistake. So he inadvertently reveals
my one nitpick with this, because the implications seem to be that he's going into another personality when he becomes.
It's implied he doesn't know that he's the killer.
Right. He sees the killer in that mine, right? Like he's like an out of body experience.
There's a
So how
moment.
does he
There's a
know?
moment where like he's behind you, he's coming, and it's not a trick. He does see her, and the other two
Right.
were like, "No, buddy." Yeah,
You're kooky, bud.
yeah.
So how does he know what the killer did?
You know,
He's blacking out for that, right?
I have enough of a little bit there of like it's in there, and he's also confused of how he knows that. I'm not
Right, yeah, that's fair.
necessarily
It's not an
worried
exact
about
science. It's
Yeah.
not an exact science.
Yeah. I mean, he's cuckoo bananas.
Yeah.
He's cuckoo bananas, which is the ultimate blanket for writing inconsistencies. Inadvertently revealing that he's the killer. As Sarah points the gun at him, Tom hallucinates, revealing the miner is his split personality. A flashback shows him digging up Warden's mining gear and committing the murders. This movie does not have a single solitary shot in it that is provocative or interesting, but I did like the one where he's lifting up the mask and like he's like wearing it, of once again not like wow cinematography the movies, but like I'm like I see what you did, it's all right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
After a struggle, Sarah shoots Tom and the bullet strikes a fuel tank which explodes. Sarah and
Well, first, Axel fucks up. Huge fuck.
yes describe
He
that.
has the gun. They both know he's the killer. And then Axel's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tackle this guy and fist fight him right now. And then Tom pickaxes him in the stomach. And I'm like, Axel, you had that coming? You deserve that for
That's
so
it,
many
buddy.
reasons.
That's it, pal.
Yeah. And then she shoots the gas, the propane tank or whatever the fuck it is, and it blows up.
Right. Sarah and Axel are rescued from the resulting cave-in. Tom also survives. We get a final good like 3D shot of him as a rescue worker's like, "We're gonna get you out of here!" And blah, he murders him with a pickaxe.
Yes.
And then as we see kind of the fallout of this, we see Jensen Ackles in the rescue workers like mining suit, like pulling off the mask and off into the distance, which is how a good slasher should end, with the villain getting away.
I was going to say, I'm surprised we didn't get a sequel, but also, is this like one of the few instances of studio restraint where they made the right call? Because they were like, this is a one-time gimmick that people aren't coming back for number 2.
I have an answer for you. And a couple days before the release, the screenwriter, whose name is Todd Farmer, and Patrick Lussier, the director, a couple days before release, pitched their script for the sequel. Lionsgate saw kind of the response to this one being kind of middling, and they decided not to move forward with it. Let's see here. The sequel would have been more psychological and would have brought back survivors from the remake as well as expanded upon its backstory. Farmer's script had also planned to kill off the character of Sarah. And you know what? No, Lionsgate was right. This doesn't need to be a franchise. This doesn't need anything. And I say that as someone who quite enjoyed watching this movie.
No, you're right. But if another one came out the next year around Valentine's Day, I don't know. Maybe I go again.
Right.
I don't know if I go too many more times.
It's not... I don't have any genuine questions about the lore of, this.
No, and the 3D gimmick, you're over it after.
Right.
You don't need to see this kind of shit twice in 3D.
Lionsgate by this point, I think, is still pumping out Saw movies by 2009. And like Saw did have was provocative enough of like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what's this guy's whole deal? To the point where in the last couple of years, we still kind of Saw X, people really liked it. Of like, exploring this villain is really interesting. I liked Saw X, but I'm a little like, how dare you come into my fucking house and tell me that?
Right.
How dare
I don't like it.
I liked Saw X. I don't like it. It's not better than the rest of them. It's a Saw movie. Sorry, suckers. You liked a Saw movie. They're good.
I think the Saw movies were in the middle somewhere on that franchise list.
That's where they belong.
Lower middle, yeah.
I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying I like them.
Franchises that had one good movie were pretty high, just because, like Halloween and Jaws or whatever, like one positively reviewed movie and then a bunch of crap. That one movie got you pretty high on the list.
So I would maintain the original James Wan Saw is a good movie. My favorite Saw is Saw 2. There's good movie Saw. There's the most Saw 2, which is we took all of the tropes. And Saw 2 creates the tropes. And then
that's the second movie just establishes what these are going to be, right?
Yes. And then there's some that I'm like, no, that one's really bad, but I say that as a fan of the franchise Saw, which is, here's my other complaint about Saw X. You go on Letterboxd, and there is a large amount of people who are like, oh, thank God they dropped like the shitty 2000s new metal in the credits and stuff. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? It's a stupid 2000s franchise. Act like a stupid 2000s franchise.
Yeah, and they dropped the filter too, right?
They dropped everything. Like, you think you're better than that? You're not better than that. This is Saw. Fuck
That's one
you.
thing I appreciated about the last two Scream reboots is that they kept the kind of pop, soundtrack element to it.
Yeah.
Like, because those first three were Weinstein movies, and so they were like, we want to release an album, so like whatever hot bands, put all these songs in here somewhere, and they kind of do that in the new ones.
Here's the thing. I think the Scream soundtracks are better, like have more genuine hits on them than like the Saw movies, which have like Mudvayne.
Right, yeah.
Like a whole bunch of like none of them have Slipknot. They have the Slipknot knockoff bands. And
yeah, great.
And don't get me wrong, hell yeah.
Similar, it's like a lot of similar Smallville music, probably some overlap there.
There's a lot of overlap there, I think. I think we at some point need to do some sort of exchange of my favorite, like, guilty pleasure horror franchise is Saw. We need to do some sort of exchange of, like, I haven't seen a large majority of Scream.
Yeah,
but I liked everything I have. Like, I like Scream.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll have to be a comparable swap. How many Saw movies? There are 10?
There's 10. But I have...
There's only 6 Scream movies.
I can file down the Saws to, like, the fun ones.
A solid 6?
I can file that down to, like, a solid 6. At bare minimum... interesting,
right?
But okay, so
that's the end. That's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the movie. I have some stuff here on the release. On its 4-day opening weekend, the film grossed 24.1. This was a January release, so this is a real we're trying to hit that Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah.
The trailer really hits like it's a date movie, which makes sense. On its 4-day opening weekend, it grossed $24.1 million. It was number 3 for the weekend, which makes sense why they killed a sequel.
That tells you fucking how different it was back then. 24 would probably be number 1.
Yeah. Truly. Let's see. Gran Torino, the Clint Eastwood written and directed film, is number 2. Paul Blart Mall Cop was number 1 that weekend in January. It dropped to number 6 in its second week. We got 51 million in the United States. In Canada, 49 million. 100 million worldwide. Which I'd put this in like underrated status. I think if you're like, what's a good slasher, or if you like slashers of this ilk, I would say don't skip this one.
No, yeah, I think it has a positive Rotten Tomatoes.
It's 60 something, which seems about right.
Exactly right. Yeah.
It's if you're like, what's a good dumb slasher that I don't have to like actually pay attention to, I see no reason to skip this one.
Yeah. Yep.
So, fuck.
Should we ask the ghosts one more time about the election? I mean, I really want to know.
I think we should, but before we do that, I do want to show you a little bit of a bloody disgusting interview with Jensen Ackles.
Great.
I only have a little bit, or I've only seen a little bit of it, so it might get uninteresting, and then we'll bail. But it was pretty goofy from what I saw. I'm screen sharing right now. I'm starting it.
All right, so I'm going to wear my cool 3D glasses
That's
for the
them,
interview.
man. That's
To make you look more 3D and make me look even more dorky.
So this man from Bloody Disgusting, who I gotta say has put on 3D glasses. Once again, it's 2009 and the 3 Avatar hasn't come out yet. The 3D novelty is new. This man, and this is mean, I say this as a guy who also looks like this. There's Jensen Ackles, a very pretty man. And then there's this man who looks like he works for Bloody Disgusting. And forewarning, he's gonna... I've had opportunities in my career to meet and talk to some famous people. And similar to this man, I've had the moments of like, it's cool, we're gonna riff. And then I look like a fucking moron. And that's absolutely how that has gone. And that's how it's gonna happen to this man. And it pains me because I've been there.
Oh, no. Okay. Buckle up.
So, all right, so on all the posters it says date movie, right? Like, this is like the fucking awesome Valentine's, we promise you'll get laid movie, right? Like, what do you think people should expect to get out of this date movie?
Well, you know, it's... the studio would love to make it a date movie, and I think it is that. I think people are going to be able to, you know... The kids are going to be able to go and enjoy this with their girlfriends and have a good time. But I also think, you know, for the good old horror film buffs, I think this is it pays homage to that kind of throwback slasher movie, and to do it in this kind of a, you know, advanced technological way, the 3-dimension. You've obviously got the glasses on.
Jensen Ackles pulling a very specific, like, the studio line of it's a date movie is great, but also if you like horror, you should go see it. Please don't think it's a girly movie.
Right now, so it's not that old like paper glasses with the red and the blue lenses. I mean, this is some new cool shit.
And we're explaining the Real D technology. We have to kind of pitch the Real D technology a little bit. You're on mute, Zach, in case that is.
Yeah, so it's fun, man. Go see it.
It's a lot of fun. This movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Now, when you got in this movie and you heard Tom Atkins was involved, do you know like how much all the horror buffs love this guy?
Oh, he's an icon.
You're pretty. Do you know? You're a pretty man. Do you know about the come on, man.
Like, he's fucking huge, and we were all like,
which is great.
Do we get to interview him? Oh, we get Jensen?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not Tom. But,
that's okay.
You know.
Cool.
Yeah, in fact, I walked out of the theater with him last night, and I was just like, man, Tom, buddy, Tom. And I got to say though that his demise in this film is epic.
I think that's probably my favorite one.
Got to be.
I mean, that one was...
It's got to be.
There's a lot of good ones, though, but
there's some good, but that one just resonates.
That one is the most awesome.
For sure.
And there's already, like, pictures online and, like, in magazines, so it's like, well, all right, it's gonna get spoiled early. But I won't do it. But like, oh, dude, that one was so fucking cool.
So
I have a very visceral reaction to like, we're chatting, we're having a good, like, nah, brother, ask questions, man.
These things are what the kids call cringe.
It's so, and I don't want to roast. I don't know who this interviewer is for Bloody Disgusting. I don't know who it is. I'm not saying I could do better if I'm in his position, but it's like, brother, bail. You're not nailing it. Bail.
and it opens with Atkins too, so you can't go wrong when you're opening a horror movie with Atkins.
Well, and you know what was kind of interesting was you start with the heart around his head, and I'm like, all right, this movie's gonna get goofy, and it doesn't.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. In fact, when I saw the first time I saw the screen, they screened it for me about a month ago, and that did the heart thing, and he turned into it, and I was just like, oh no. Oh man, what have I done? But then it just took off, and I think Patrick, because I know his crazy mind works this way, he wanted to throw people a little curveball there and be like, I'm going to set it up to be really, really cheesy, and then I'm going to knock him over the head with a pickaxe.
I think that basically sums up it is wild to watch a media-trained person with a not quite media-trained person.
Right, yeah. He's doing a great job of steering him back on course every time, though.
That's the thing. Pro. I think he's a fucking pro.
Yeah. I mean, every year he's done a CW junket.
Right. And I will say, this is to once again absolve... I'm making fun of the Bloody Disgusting guy. To absolve, it's 2009. The internet landscape is different, and we're not all used to being on camera the way we all fucking seem to be now. It's basically, this was a mean segment, and I mean every word that I said, but I understand that this was a mean segment, just making fun of a man doing his job. And that anyone can easily do about me the times I've been on camera. But Zach, fuck. Any final questions for the ghosts to wrap up our Halloween Spooktacular for this year?
Yeah, I want to know, ghosts, who's going to win the 2024 United States presidential election?
Journey.
Over the years,
the call.
Here's the journey, the call. 43rd.
No, keep going. That doesn't count.
Who was the 43rd president?
Trump.
What? No, he wasn't 43. Hang on, I'm Googling right now.
W.
Who's a Republican? That's not good.
Yeah, but he doesn't like Trump.
But he doesn't like Trump. But he didn't endorse.
4691.
this is game night.
I don't think the ghosts know, brother. I don't think they know.
I think we just keep going until they give us a fucking answer.
All right, tell you what, we're gonna off air. We're gonna keep listening, and then we're not going to bed until we know.
You know what we'll do instead is I will ask the Smallville gods.
I think you're gonna ask the Smallville gods, and I think that'll at least give us an answer, right or wrong.
Yeah.
But before we do that, hey everyone, thanks for listening and for joining us for our Halloween Spooktacular. We're still at it. I can't promise we'll be up next week, but probably the week after that. Look. We're going to get stuff up as frequently as we can. We're not on hiatus. We're not going anywhere. We're just in a rough patch, and I don't know when we'll be out of the rough patch. I don't know if I said it on the air, but we've been at this 4 fucking years. And it's our first notable rough patch. It'll pass.
We're not going anywhere, so I don't think you got rid of us.
Don't fucking think it. And hey, We appreciate everyone.
Rosenbaum is listening to this like, we finally got rid of him. And then he hears this like, no, damn it.
Thank you. We appreciate everyone who is listening to this and sticking with us through our first real rough patch. So yeah, we have a Discord. Hey, that's the best place to get in touch with us. We have a Patreon. Don't subscribe to that right now. But we appreciate it if you do. And Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
Give me one more ghost. Give me one more ghost listen, Brian.
Should the ghost listen be the end?
No, do one more ghost listen, and then if they don't answer, then we will go to our Smallville gods.
All right. Do you want to ask the question, or should I just do the ghost listen?
No, we got. You ask the ghost. You're the one in Halloween.
Okay, I'm the one in Halloween. That's right. It's not Halloween where you are. I am going to... I've got my notebook here. I'm opening up the page where I put 666. I put the pentagram. I put an angry face. What else should I put? What else should I put on this?
Just please.
I will make an actual contract here. I am offering my soul for an answer.
No, the specific answer, Brian. You only offer your soul.
Yeah. For the specific answer of who will win the 2024 American election. This is real. Satan, you can have my soul. Zach cosigns.
For your soul.
For my soul. And then I am signing this. Should I sign in blood?
No.
Zach?
Please don't.
No. I'm going to do it. I'm taking a thumbtack. I'm pricking my thumb.
Don't. Oh, that's gross.
I'm pricking
can't
my
believe you
thumb.
just did that.
I'm doing
That's
it.
disgusting.
I'm doing it.
Gross.
I'm smearing it on this page for real. Look. I'm
You
doing it for
ruined
real.
that notebook.
It's for real.
You ruined it.
And then I'm going to put my real signature on it for real. This is my actual real signature. So it's that, and
You're
it's my
looking a little
blood.
pale, Brian. You're looking paler than usual.
I don't have a lot. I'm not very healthy. I need all of my blood. So this is that level for fucking real, Zach. This is a signed contract.
Okay, let's do this.
I need a definitive answer. I need to hear a name here for my soul. How long should we leave this running? We should leave this running for a little bit, and then we'll just cut, and then we'll just fade out from there, right?
Okay, sure.
Profits in the trucking industry.
Someone else's dream. Quarterfinals, they'll Champions League will be in all. And what I forgot how to sing.